A new phase of the war begins now. Iran says there are surprises it will announce in the coming hours, and the Israeli entity is in real trouble after the first strike with the Khaybar Shekan cluster missile, to the extent that some countries have now started contacting President Pezeshkian of Iran to stop this war. Meanwhile, Trump is still begging the Kurds to get him out of this predicament. How is that? Today's topic is up next. We'll take a break and return soon. Stay with us. Dear viewers, peace be upon you and God's mercy and blessings. Welcome to our new episode today, God willing, from the Opinion series, which we dedicate to keeping up with the events and developments of this war taking place in the Middle East between Iran and the Epstein Alliance. The first point we will discuss today, dear viewers, is this Iranian strike that came as a response to the Israeli aggression on the MENA girls' school, which led to the death of 175 children among the students of this school. In response to that, Iran this morning carried out a strike with missiles and drones deep in the city of Tel Aviv, in the center of Tel Aviv. But the notable point about this strike is that Iran used the Khaybar Shekan cluster missile, which splits into more than 10 warheads as it approaches the target, making it capable of destroying and burning a vast area. That means dozens of buildings can be hit at the same moment. So, in fact, the missile caused widespread destruction in an area located in the heart of Tel Aviv. This missile truly causes significant damage. The observation is that when Iran wants to hit a military target accurately, it doesn't use this missile, it uses other missiles. But when it wants to cause heavy losses and widespread destruction, it uses this missile. Khaybar Shekan means that Iran only uses this missile if it wants to burn something without caring about civilian casualties. Therefore, when Iran used this missile, it clarified the reason. It said the reason was what happened at the Minab girls' school. It said this was an Iranian response to the targeting of the Minab girls' school. This means it's a clear message from Iran. Whenever civilians in Iran are targeted, Iran will respond with this cluster missile, which will definitely cause widespread destruction and will certainly result in direct civilian casualties. Iran is making this weapon a strategic weapon, a destructive weapon, a deterrent weapon, making Israel think 1,000 times before bombing these civilian facilities in Iran. And what we see today is that Iran is indeed achieving great success with this strategy, and the proof of that is the great impact of this missile, as there are videos confirming how it caused an entire neighborhood in Tel Aviv to burn. So when we see, dear viewers, the level of planning by Iran, we know that Iran is still in a position of strength and it is still the one controlling the course of this war today. Iran does not launch missiles just to say that it has launched missiles or just to prove that it still has missile launch platforms. Absolutely not. It is clear that everything Iran does today is planned. Every type of missile it uses to strike Israel has a specific purpose, whether it is a technical, strategic, or political objective. It has a wide range of options, and it is the one in control of the situation. So, when Iran says that it still has weapons, some of which are secret and some are new, and the enemy will be surprised by it, I believe him, because war is about plans and strategies. This war is not like any previous wars. This war is completely different. This war is not a showy war where missiles and power are displayed for a limited time. Not at all. The war is a real war, a war for survival, and it will definitely be long term. Sometimes there are provocations meant only to reveal what you are hiding, what strength you have, and to drain that strength. Sometimes it's just a test of capabilities and so on. Iran knows this very well, and that's why it manages the battle in smart ways. Every missile it launches is aimed at a specific target and without wasting resources. And pay close attention, Iran's missile capabilities have developed to this level in a very short period of time, maybe within the last 3 or 4 years. Because before 2023, there was no talk in Iran about hypersonic missiles. And when Iran announced that it possessed these missiles, they thought it was just propaganda. They were saying it's impossible for Iran to reach this technology and that they themselves haven't reached it yet. Even we used to say that Iran only had fireworks, but during the recent 12-day war, we all discovered the truth of these Iranian claims, and we saw how these missiles struck quickly and with extreme precision. In just the last 3 years, Iran has seen a huge development in this weapon. If Iran continues, it will reach even greater levels. So when we say today that Iran is strong, an Islamic power in the region, it truly is an Islamic power. That's a fact. Also, there are some observations about President Trump's statements today. For example, among the latest statements made today. Even though a whole week has passed since the start of this war, he persists today. He appeals to the Iranian forces, including the army, the Revolutionary Guard, and the police, to surrender their weapons, and says that if they do not surrender, they will face death. What's strange is that he speaks as if he doesn't know these real facts, which confirm that today it is impossible for there to be defections within the Iranian army, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, or even within the police ranks, as Trump believes, as Trump is addressing today. He believes that the Syria scenario could be repeated in Iran. He thinks that the defections we used to hear about in the ranks of the Syrian army from time to time since 2011 could be repeated with the Iranians. He thinks that people from the East are like this by nature, that they defect. But the reality that might be hidden from him is that the defections in Syria were for the sake of truth, to fight injustice, to fight the aggression that Bashar al-Assad's regime was practicing against its people. But now in Iran, the situation is completely different. There can't be any defections in Iran except from an agent or a traitor. And it's clear that this time Iran has prepared well for this scenario, taking proactive steps to prevent any possible defections there. Trump was asked a question about the time frame for this war. When could this war end? What did Trump say? This time, Trump doesn't have any time frame. He just wants to end this war. So pay close attention to how there has been a major shift in the statements. After he used to say it was a military operation that would last for 4 days, then he said it would end in a week. Then after that, he said it might last for 5 weeks, and now he says it's not a war and the duration was specified. And tomorrow he might say that we have ended this war, which means he is facing very great difficulties in this war. Things really did not go according to the arrangements, according to the plans that were set at the beginning. And this has only one meaning, that he has truly entered a quagmire he will not get out of safely, and he is truly in a real predicament. He is neither able to continue nor able to withdraw. Today, he is only looking for a savior. He is waiting for the rescuing party that they will push into the war on their behalf, like the Kurds, and then they can quietly withdraw, while continuing to provide military support to the Kurds, and perhaps even air support to the Kurds. And so, there is an article published by Foreign Policy magazine in which it said that the Gulf countries have completely lost trust once again in America's ability and willingness to support us. The magazine stated explicitly that this war has revealed the extent of the weakness suffered by the Gulf countries. This war confirmed the famous Arab proverb that everyone is sharing today on social media: "He who covers himself with America is naked." Today, Medvedev, who is now Putin's deputy in the Russian Security Council, said in a tweet on Twitter that the Gulf countries were naive when they allowed American forces to be present on their land. He said they thought it would protect them, but it turned out it only protects one country. In fact, it even poses a threat to them. Medvedev said that now these countries need to reconsider whether they need these American military bases. He clearly stated that they should expel these forces from their land. This war has revealed this truth, and it revealed how these countries, despite having vast amounts of money, couldn't even build a defense system, couldn't even manufacture defensive missiles, or even open a dedicated factory. Iran, with simple capabilities, achieved the impossible, and today it stands firm and resilient, facing the world's #1 superpower. Why? Because it invested in science, invested in scientists, in developing its own capabilities. It didn't invest in buying clubs, stadiums, and so on. Today, if everyone notices, there's no longer any talk about assassinating a scientist, an Iranian nuclear scientist, or anything like that at all. Because in previous wars, Israel always boasted that it had killed a nuclear scientist, that a nuclear scientist was assassinated, or 4 nuclear scientists, or something like that. Today, in this war, there is no similar talk at all. Why? Because they are completely convinced that such assassinations are pointless. Iran has moved past this stage. We could say that Iran has developed immunity to this kind of thing because it has more than 25,000 specialists in the nuclear field. It has dozens of universities and institutes specialized only in the nuclear field, and every year about 3,000 new nuclear scientists graduate from them. So what if 1, 2, 4 or more are assassinated? The same applies here. We find almost the same thing in the field of missiles, cars and defense industries. No matter how many military assassinations happen, Iran will not collapse, and its missile and defense projects will not collapse completely. There was a tweet today from Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, in which he confirmed that some countries have now entered mediation efforts to stop this war. Pay close attention. According to all previous experiences, when you see that there is mediation to stop the war, know that Israel requested it. When Israel reaches a level of danger, it asks countries to intervene to stop the war. At the same time, Pezeshkian said that everyone who chose to stand against Iran will pay the price in the coming hours. It's like it's just a test. Everyone who failed this test, Iran will take revenge on them in the coming hours. And it's clear that Iran is now preparing to start a new phase of this war, during which it will reveal surprises, according to its statements. Maybe new weapons, maybe a new strategy, maybe something else. Now we'll see how this war will go in the next few hours. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Peace be upon you, and see you next time.